Hollywood, we've known for a long time, is demonic. It's evil. They push things like Lil Nas X having gay intercourse with the actual devil in a costume. And now we're starting to see more footage coming out of some of these trances that these people are put in, where they're totally overtaken by the devil, where they're overtaken by something evil, an evil force. Hard to put your finger exactly on what it is, but take a look at this footage of Lady Gaga. And you can see it's just the most evil, demonic looking thing. And Lady Gaga, by the way,
how'd she do that?
She's capable of rolling her eyes back into her head in an inhuman way. I don't know how many people, what percent of people are capable of doing that, but I've never seen someone be able to do that like that. And she rolls it back as someone's walking through. It is the whole point of this is to try to normalize Satanism. She's a formerly Jewish atheist, part of that
It
club.
looks like it's altered. Is it altered?
It is not. That is real footage. So she is actually doing this in the video where she's able to somehow roll her eyes back like that. There's another footage, by the way, of her walking in slow motion, which is just weird. Now, this one doesn't look as demonic as that one does, but it just shows this. So there it is. So look at this. So she walks out of the building and decides to walk literally.
Look at the guy's hands on the right, on the left. Sorry. Left for us, right for her. Is it really walk? Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing this. It's all about getting attention. It's all about trying to look creepy and evil and normalize this stuff. And Lady Gaga is one of the worst examples.
Who's she married to?
I don't think she's currently married.
I thought it was like Blake Shelton. Was it Blake Shelton?
She's had a bunch of different guys that she's been with, but she has no real family.
Okay, she's a little bit. Let me see.
She's for the streets.
All right. Oh, you had to go there.
She is.
But look at his hands. It's this.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So that's why this went viral. Is he's making the symbol, the Illuminati symbol, with his hands as she's walking down doing this. I mean, maybe they're just messing with us. Maybe it's all a big ruse, but it pisses me off that this is who we have representing us on television, in the theater, on a stage singing a song, and they're doing this on purpose. The people who decide to write the contracts and the people who make the TV shows, produce them, they're all evil, and they're all part of the same club that the politicians are in, and they all have immunity where they can go to Epstein Island and they know they're not going to get caught. No one's ever going to release it because they have people donating big money to both sides. Everyone's in on it. And, we have a lot of other stuff to talk about today as well. Joe Biden is coming back to public life, apparently. That video is wild. But even more importantly, we are now seeing illegal immigrants who are being, and by the way, we can show, we have Rob Bell here, who founder of a super big video game company, also the brother of someone who you may or may not know, Drake Bell. So this guy's.
You didn't know who Drake Bell was. You're too young.
I love that.
Like I know who Drake Bell is.
That was one of my favorite shows.
Grab your mic.
That's Joe. That's right in my window. I hit that window.
What window?
Perfect.
The window of being born.
Yeah, he knows.
So right now it's age 26 is the generation that watched Drake and Josh. My daughter's 26, so think about how cool this is. She would go. It's like kindergarten, and it's her birthday. Uncle Drake comes to the school. The whole sixth graders, everybody freaking out, right? So she went through the whole. He actually was. He went and played their prom. My daughter's prom. It was a huge thing. Like got up and did the thing, but it was pretty cool. But 26 or the parents of a 26-year-old. Those are the.
I'm the parent. I'm the parent of a 26-year-old.
That's it. That's it. So
back when Nickelodeon was a real, they weren't so
before we found out.
Yeah, before we found out.
Well, no, I mean they were still doing all the bad stuff then, though. But we saw the documentary. Yeah, I mean, your brother was literally abused by someone at Nickelodeon. There was a whole documentary that came out about it, and I worked with you, by the way, to promote it, which was a really good experience.
That was
being able
awesome
to share that.
We very much appreciate it. Yeah, that was the top documentary on Max so far. So it went pretty viral, and it was good. It was personal stuff that Drake had held in for a long time, and finally.
Did you know about it? Did you know about it when it was happening?
I was very very aware. Yeah, I didn't. So I I got brought into the picture right after they had the evidence to bust him. I didn't know that something was happening while it was happening. That part I didn't know. I did get a weird feeling about that guy. You know, I knew something was weird. I was like, this isn't. So I was a bit older. I was really into surfing, snowboarding stuff. So I was out of the house. You know, I was doing. But when I got the random catches on it, boy, I was just like, yeah, there's something weird. But then that, you know, they get the whole Hollywood thing. Like if somebody is gay, right, and you have something wrong with them, then that means you're prejudiced, right? No, just whether you're straight or you're gay, if you're doing something that's weird and inappropriate, that's weird and inappropriate. You know,
you're just a weirdo.
You're just a weirdo. So, and as it turns out, he wasn't just a weirdo; he was one of the worst weirdos, right? And but yeah, I was in the courtroom when they went for the trial, and it was amazing. It was an entire half of a court filled with all these famous people, and then the other side with my mom and her husband and my brother and me, with empty courtroom. And there was people even waiting outside that wanted to get in to sit on that side. And, you know, they were all there to support the pedophile that the judge specifically said, you're lucky you hired such a strong legal team, or we would have, you'd be going to jail for a lot longer. I heard the tape because I got him on tape. But anyway, sorry to hijack the show.
They got him. No, they got him on tape.
We're glad to have you on as well, because I mean, this is all important stuff. And by the way, you know, being Drake Bell's brother is only one thing that you've done. Very successful guy right here. Founded multiple very large companies, a lot of really cool stories. So I'm really, really glad to have you on the show. It's going to be a good show today. When we get back, we can discuss. We're going to go to the little intro here. When we get back, we can discuss that, because it really is crazy to think of an entire courtroom of people on the side of the pedophile, and they all knew it, by the way, for the most part. And then
this is real life. This is
real
not.
life.
This is
no,
not.
yeah. This is not a movie, and no one shows up for Drake.
No, I walked in on that and couldn't believe it. I thought I was on the wrong side.
Right?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's total insanity. All of this and more when we get back on Untamed.
Take two. Cut.
Take two.
I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people. Right, follow me with this.
But they've been using their power to obstruct and stop justice from taking place.
You want to pray us out?
I do.
We'll pray for Tina. And let's have conversations about what truth is.
Right here. This is good.
All right. We turn our mics back on. Is this on? Is it on?
Mine's good. It's supposed to be the shotgun broad.
All of us just tapping
all right.
our mics.
So before we get into all the stuff we're going to talk about, Matt, I took a swing at Dan Bongino. I think I sent it to you.
You did. I saw it. It was good.
I was pissed. And here's the reason why I'm pissed. Why is it that every single time we say so, like we were not allowed to have an opinion? You got to stand up and you got to support them 100%. You can't criticize them. You can't. They're absolutely, completely sheltered from having any sort of criticism. No, absolutely not. I have no interest. Yeah, X is down.
It is, yeah. No, I'm trying. I'm right now trying to tweet out the link to the show, and it's giving me a hard time. So
let me. I can pull it now. It's not letting you do anything right now.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not the boy who cried X is down. When I say X is down, it actually is down.
It's down.
That means I've checked my Wi-Fi signal. I've checked my data, made sure my cell service is on. I tried both of them, refreshed like 10 times, and if it's still not working, then I know.
Well,
X
you also have him.
Down.
Him saying it's not working too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Having a tech CEO and an X influencer both telling you X is down, then you know X is down at that point. It actually is down.
It's down.
It is down.
Okay, so let me get into it, because people were going crazy over this post that I put up, and I got to be able to find it here somewhere. Gee, how many Christmas? There it is. Here we go. The bomb, stickity bomb. Oh, it works in here. I just sent it to you, Apollo, so you have it. And I think it does come up if you push the little button. All right, where is it? All right. So there was a picture. Go put the picture up first. And it's the picture of John Nance. I'm not a big fan of Nance's at all. And he said a few nuances from Bongino's interview on Fox and Friends This morning, Dan mentioned people out there giving us trouble. And later, he stated that people who have been trash posting about him and Cash will be named and shamed in the future. He also recognized that these cranks are attempting to undermine the work being done to reform the FBI. I'd hate to be one of those social media grifters once Dan takes the mic back. I know who these people are, and I can't wait. Right? First John, piss off. Piss off. Piss on off. Piss off. Right? In the words of the English. So here's what I wrote. Because yesterday we talked a little bit about this, talked about it the day before. We're not fair weather fans. And frankly, people that do bad stuff, they deserve to be brought out as doing bad stuff. You get called out. You want to join the radical lefts, you want to join the rhino, whatever you want to call it. I mean, basically let's just call it the political establishment because it's terrible on both sides of the aisle. So no one is I said basically this. No one is trash posting you, Bongino. Everyone wants you to be successful. Same with Director Cash. But if you think you should be above reproach when it comes to criticism, you're not. You left good men behind. Garrett, Steve, Kyle, Marcus, Phil, whistleblowers. Whistleblowing is not a sacrificial sport. It's supposed to be a brotherhood of conviction. You both abandoned that. At least settle with them, give them whistleblower payouts, and move on. Instead, you are silent on them, and you go sensitive on them when they call out the betrayal, an obvious betrayal. Your answer, you side with Julie Kelly. You allow loyalty to one dictate that the other has to be the enemy. People are not going to get along, but you picked a side, an amateur move. When the heat turns up, you spend too little time reading the room and more time getting pissed off at the criticism you receive. Reality, no one gives a crap about Epstein killing himself. They do care that you won't release the files, and no one has been arrested. They care you turned on the suspendables. They care about the theater of bullshit. When you talk of Comey corruption, yet show all of us, none of that will result in accountability. What's worse, you promoted shit people that let Julie Kelly grease the skids to justify them staying. The people are tired, and you both took the job. You should be doing exactly what 47 is doing and going for the throats of politicians, election company execs, and working the problem from the top. Instead, it appears to the masses to be the same fraternity and same focus on the symptom to the problems, while letting the problems of corruption and fraud directly tied to the stealing of elections that is real and quite literally substantiated by mountains of evidence. You don't do what the people want you to do, and no one of any significance will face even a day of accountability. It's disappointing. You act like you are above the people, that we don't understand, but we do, and that is why you are not given space. And then there is the below. What is it exactly? After school fight in high school where everyone gets together to circle and watch blood fly? I forgot. You guys are important. So you can get upset and sling mud so long as you have people behind you that make you feel good about yourselves after. For fuck's sake, many people put themselves and their families in peril, quite literally. Many are sick of the kabuki theater and the betrayal, but nah, it's a fraternity of a bunch of people who risk nothing. Talking heads with not a bit of skin in the game. Those are the ones that get air and grace. The rest, yeah, F them, right? And as I wrote this shit on you post, I still support you. And how can I not? Yet what you are all doing is fundamentally wrong, and I'm not a bitch, so I will tell you, as others will, the truth. You are wrong, and what you are doing is embarrassing, kind of like Cash hanging out at nightclubs. This is not the Kardashians, and yet here we are.
Anyone who uses the word grifter, by the way, is retarded. That's the dumbest attack. Oh, you're a grifter. Okay, buddy, sure. I mean, it's not only proof that the person who you respond to is retarded, but then in great detail, we explain the truth. We're not motivated by, oh, we just want our side to win. Okay, cool. We want real change. We want them to stop allowing pedophiles to go free. We want them to stop allowing the system to be in place that props up the people who are the most evil and the worst. It's not complicated. It's not something that is anti-bipartisanship. It is something that everyone should agree on. And yet we have these two competing cults who decided that their side winning is more important than that. And we're not bitches. We're not afraid to call it out. And I think that's why this show is growing as quickly as it is. That's why this is the fastest growing show in the world right now, fastest growing live show, and why it will continue to be that. We're not afraid, while most are.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But anyway, so Dan Bongino, I don't really care. I don't think anybody is shitposting you. I don't think they're trashing you at all. I think they're speaking the truth and you don't like it. You don't like being held accountable. So you want to just run back to your, you said it, you have FU money. So you have FU money, so you don't have to listen to the people. The people just don't matter to you. You've adopted the same mentality that people in Congress have adopted, or many people in government, that we're going to make decisions and you're going to see. But we're not seeing anything. And you could say, okay, it's the DOJ's fault or whatever. You guys always pass the buck. No matter where we stand, it's always passing the buck. And yet we always see, as you were just talking about, we see the rafters on the side of evil fill up. They got plenty of people that want to do harm to other people. And yet we show up and all you do is complain about the fact that we're asking you to do the right thing. Do the right thing. If you can't do the right thing, quit. And if you don't want to be held responsible for your behavior, and when you're out hanging out at nightclubs and buying private jets so you guys can jet set all over the country and act like you're important, quit. Just get out. It's not a job for sissies. You want to be a sissy? Go be a sissy, because you're certainly not leading. That's all I got on it.
Meanwhile, we have a convicted pedophile, an Anthony Weiner, who was caught with such disgusting stuff on his computer, on his cell phone. As Rob and I were talking about before coming on the show, multiple police officers who are associated with this, who saw what was on the laptop, are now no longer alive. Nice. And yet, right now, he is trying to get back into political office. We have a clip for you. Apollo, go ahead and play the clip.
You got to be kidding me.
This is crazy. Yeah. Have you seen this yet, Joe?
No, I'm about to punch somebody in the face.
Joe, okay, we're gonna get Joe's reaction. I actually like this.
I did too.
We get to see Joe's reaction live to this. Joe, this is insane. You're gonna look at this and you're gonna watch this and you're going to hate Earth. Play the clip, Apollo, please. Thank you.
You resigned from Congress in 2011 over a sexting scandal. 2 years later, you stepped down from the mayoral race after sexting again under the alias Carlos Danger. And then in 2016, you sent lewd texts to a minor and served 15 months in prison, in addition to becoming a registered sex offender. Nice. So with all that said, why do you think, or why should New Yorkers give you a chance at a political comeback?
Well, let me just say this. I mean, all of that happened. And I accept responsibility for it. You won't hear me do what some other people in public life have done, Donald Trump or Andrew Cuomo or Eric Adams. I'm a victim.
Look on Joe's face right now.
They persecuted me for no reason. I was dealing with very serious problems.
I think I just saw Joe make a knuckle real quick.
Addiction. I lost my brother Seth to addiction. And I accepted. I didn't ask for a trial. I pled guilty, served my time in prison, served in a halfway house, served probation, went to try to do good work for the formerly incarcerated. And I guess what I'm saying to people is, maybe don't vote for me in spite of what they know about me, but maybe consider that journey, that idea that we all go through things and we come out the other side. And also, what does it mean? You know, I'm Jewish, but they have this notion in Catholicism around you suffer for a reason so you can be of service at the other end. So I'm not asking people, I'm doing the opposite of what a lot of politicians do when they're in my position. Ignore that problem, pretend it didn't happen, blame someone else. I am saying, yes, I did these things. I got into recovery. I try to make my life better. And now if I can be of service, and I'm a damn good politician. I come up with answers. Yep. I talk to people directly.
You are.
I don't try to butter over things.
Listen to the audience afterwards.
And why shouldn't I? And if it's just because I have bad things in my past, that's not a good enough reason. I mean,
wait for it.
Look, all I can ever be is who I am right now. Yeah. And that brought me to this space.
Did you hear that? They're clapping. They're like, yeah, you're a good politician.
That was hard to watch.
That's a convicted pedophile who's on The View, and he's like, as a Jewish person who's now citing Catholicism, you need to accept me back into public life as a politician, someone who is in charge of making policies for children, who's around children. And they allowed him on The View. But if either of us wanted to go on The View, what would happen? First of all, we wouldn't be allowed to go on. Second of all, we would get booed. They would attack us. And yet a literal actual child predator.
Who said it? Who's the little prick that said, "Oh yeah, you're right. You are a good politician"?
One of the dumb, whatever her name is.
You tell me what it takes to be a good. What does it take to be a good politician? Be a liar? Be a pedophile? Tell me.
He's not. He's the perfect politician, isn't he, Rob?
Well, his journey that he went through all this makes him a stronger, better person because he molested kids, or because it would have made to explain that journey to me. I mean, yes, okay, you did your time and you go back into life and maybe get a job somewhere at like 10,000 yards from a school, right, or something like that. But I mean, to say like, oh, I went to prison, I've got 3 charges against me, and so the journey is what makes me more qualified to run this area. That just blows my mind. In fact, like you said, clapping at the end. And everybody joining in with like, yeah, you could, like, there's a huge disconnect from the way my mind works compared to that. But
all right, tell me this. Tell me this. The first time that he had to leave office, 2011, why was it? Why did he have to leave office? He was sexting children. Mm-hmm. The second time he got in trouble, why?
Sexting children.
He was sexting children. Third time that he got in trouble. No, he wasn't just sexting. He was literally sending lewd comments and trying to connect with a minor.
But it wasn't him. It was a stage name, remember? So it wasn't really him. He was using a false name, so it wasn't technically him. Just kidding. But come on.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. And I mean, for him to say, yes, guys, I did it. I'm a convicted pedophile. And I'm proud of it because now I'm a stronger person. Can you clap for me, please, as I re-enter politics? I mean, it is so painfully obvious how evil
cut your wiener off.
Our enemies are.
Cut your wiener off. Then you can go back. Cut it off. Just become a eunuch. And we can have a conversation.
Yeah, become just Anthony. And then you can re-enter politics from a prison cell.
So because of that, because we brought this up, I'm just going to tell you right now that this is not a call to violence. But if Mr. Wiener needs some help cutting his digits off, what? Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
All right, I'm just making sure. I got a new birthday present. So for my birthday, I got this thing called Dallas Strong. This is, by the way, it's the Ronin series. It is a Japanese thingamabob. And this thingamabob is, now I'm not going to tell you that I would use it normally to cut off wieners. but I'm going to tell you that I will make a special exception for Anthony Weiner. And I can tell you right now that it will only take, let me just check that real quick.
Yeah, it's not going to take long.
Look, Weiner, I literally just one swoop of this and all your wiener problems are over. Okay? We'll take potatoes too. We take them both. Take it all off, right? And then we can talk. So I can help you, Anthony. I'm volunteering. I'm not threatening you.
Not threatening.
Not threatening you. I'm offering you the opportunity to get rid of your last name, which is so ironic. And so by the way, I say thank you to Josh for this. It's really awesome. And it is the, what is it called? Steel?
It looks like steel to me.
What does it make the?
What kind of steel is this? Apollo? It's the really strong steel. Yeah, Damascus steel. Yeah, this thing is, I'm telling you, Weiner won't even feel it. He won't even feel it coming.
Got to put like a notch on the handle, and then like maybe that becomes the sword for other people with the same problem that are running for politics.
We literally, it'll be like getting a teardrop.
Yes.
But we'll make it a pedophile drop and just put it on the cutter itself. Anyway, this is a pretty nice gift, and it was timely. So, Mr. Weiner, you want to come on over to Colorado or Texas, come on over, Red Rover. We'll take care of your problem. I have no. You don't get to hurt children.
Well, don't put that sword away yet, Joe, because
I got more.
There's more. There's more. We have now illegal immigrant pedophiles caught living right next to playgrounds that our children play at. And it gets worse. When ICE goes to arrest these pedophiles, multiple of them, not just one, also murderers, they decide, do the woke protesters to surround the car, blow the cover, a murderer gets away, and they literally try to hold by the arm one of these pedophiles. I guess they don't know who he is, but still, there's these protesters trying to stop ICE from arresting pedophiles and murderers. That's literally what they're doing.
That's not real.
Play the clip.
I'm almost right.
ICE then arrested this Salvadoran illegal alien who was previously convicted of child rape. He was deported in 2017 after he went to prison and illegally re-entered the U.S. He was found living right next to this children's playground.
So you guys just snagged a previously deported, convicted child rapist living 100 yards from a child's playground. Is that unusual out here?
Not in Massachusetts. It's not unusual. Due to the open border policies, we are finding that plenty of people who have been previously deported and committed heinous crimes and were removed from the country are now back here.
I'll take care of your problem there too.
Dash number 2.
We're gonna need to have a whole.
Hey, look, this thing says that it has a really sharp blade. You can hit it against rocks; it'll still cut paper or other things. Look, I want to give everybody an opportunity. I do. I had a friend that worked for me. And he told me this big story, and it never happened. And then he started acting weird inside of my company. He was actually a guy that worked for me. And then I just decided that you can't rehabilitate pedophiles. You can't, and maybe you can. I don't think you can. And the things that you do to children, they got to live with that for the rest of their lives. And most of these pedophiles like Wiener, he actually thinks he can go back into public office. How do you do that? How? And he tells people he's Jewish? Man, I'll not vote for you just because of that. Because you think you can get away with things. I'm Jewish, so you have to give me a free pass. What have we been talking about? We've been talking about people getting free passes, like really bad people, like World Economic Forum guys and Yuval Noah Harari. Really bad people. And Wiener's who's the other guy? Weinstein.
There's so
Weinstein.
I mean, you say
raped
who's
women
the other
for
one?
30 years, and now you have people coming out saying, "Oh, you got to get a new trial." They're gonna have the whole galley, both sides filled up with these demons. Yeah. No, hell no, and stop acting like we gotta play Cowtown to these people. They can piss off.
But he got the applause.
You got the applause.
That means that means he can. That means there are people in our country who are willing to vote for him.
Well, and he had the approval from the girls on stage. Like, oh, yes, you did.
Oh, you were a great politician.
You're much stronger now because of all the stuff you had to endure by doing that. Like, now you're stronger. Like, what? That was on TV. How many people saw that?
Yeah, and those are women. Those are women who he would, in a second, take advantage of. And there's no doubt this will happen to him again. He's going to get caught again. Oh no, the 4th time. What a surprise. Who could have ever guessed? It's just so sick. And remember too, the important thing to keep in mind about what he said there. One of them, there's many important things, but he says, I'm Jewish, but as a Catholic. He's trying to cite being Catholic for like, oh, well, I want to fit into this system, even though I'm not part of it. So treat me in the Catholic way. It's just the most disgusting form of chameleonism I've ever seen.
Crazy.
Let me just tell you right now. I want to go full Leviticus on him. Right?
Works.
I mean, I'm just going to tell you what they used to do to pedophiles. They would bury them up to their neck, and they would literally obliterate their head with big boulders. and rocks.
There'd be
They
a lot
would die.
less.
They would die a bloody death. And you could say, Joe, that's super violent. Nothing is more violent than actually hurting a child. If you beat a child, if you hurt a child, and let me explain something to you. I got a lot of junk in my trunk. I mean, I'm sure that everyone goes through stuff as a child that is detrimental. And I'm sure people go through beatings. I went through beatings as a child. And not little beatings, big beatings. And it's part of the reason why I am who I am. Probably the reason why I've never put my hands on my children. Right? And that I tell them I love them every time I, get on a conversation with them. But the thought of what I went through as a child and what I saw other people go through that was normalized as children. And I wasn't sexually abused. I was just flat out, I got my ass kicked all the time. And I mean, I'm talking bloody. But to see a child that could be abused in such a way and that we excuse it and then let them into public office so they can represent other people around them. There's no part of me that even thinks that guy should be breathing air, let alone representing anyone or thinking that I got to give him grace. I can give him grace. I'll let you live. That's the grace you get. You get to live. And you want to go serve, hot meals or, go work as a plumber. You want to do that? Go do that. But you don't get to represent children and hang out with other politicians and do what politicians have been doing to us for a long time. And that is taking what is not theirs. Now you don't get it. And you don't get to say I'm Jewish, so you can't say anything about me because now you're an anti-Semite. No, you're a demon. And I'll call you a demon, and I will literally forgive you after. What God did with you. Oh, that's right, but you don't believe in God anyway. So here you go.
That's how I feel. Exactly how your face is looking right now. That's how I feel. This guy should be hiding under a rock, not out on the View, asking for, like, hey, I've gone through this journey. I'm running for office again. It just baffles me that that's even happening right now. That's crazy. I mean, I can imagine him saying it to his wife, like, should I run for politics? He's on the View, talking about, hey, I'm coming back. I went through this journey. I'm stronger now. And that's what you need is stronger people that have been through stuff. It's ridiculous.
There's a video recently. Someone went and confronted him as he was walking down the street, and it was beautiful to watch. That was fun to watch. So we're going to go to commercial break right now. When we come back, we will play you that video of him walking down the street and being confronted because it is glorious. And that is the only way he should be treated by anyone in the public sphere. And if you weren't part of a cult, liberals who may or may not be watching, then you would have no chance of thinking that, unless you're just evil. When we come back.
In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle.
Gabe! Dude, Gabe, something's in the dumpster.
Whoa, what is that for?
Something's in the dumpster, man.
Well, Let's use the Berna. We don't want to wake the neighbors. Freeze! Stop resisting!
Stop resisting!
If you're looking for a less than lethal option for self-defense or keeping pests out of your dumpster, then check out Berna at DCF Guns. Visit us at our 3 locations in Castle Rock or Colorado Springs, or visit us online at dcfguns.com.
Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter.
It was a...
So we have the video. We're about to play it for you. If anyone is treating someone like that any other way than what you're about to see, that is a failure of society. Watch this.
Anthony Weiner in the house. How you doing, my guy? So,
okay.
I mean,
who are you carrying for?
I'm carrying for a candidate, but hey,
what candidate?
Let's talk about all of those things you guys, you and the Clintons have done over the years with all of those people that died, those strange deaths.
Really?
Anthony Weiner, folks, the guy who's been texting minors.
One more to the
Look
list.
at this guy.
Add this guy to the list.
This is Anthony
Jim
Weiner.
Walden, this is who's working for you.
It's almost time,
Jim
folks.
Walden, this is
It's
who's
almost
working for
time,
you.
folks.
Jim Walden.
It's almost time, Anthony Weiner, the pedophile.
What about you, pal?
Anthony Weiner.
What about you?
How about all of those?
Drop something?
How about all of those?
Who's it? Jim Walden.
How about all of those?
Jim Walden.
How about all of those crazy
Walden,
deaths
who's
with the
working
Clinton
for you?
family
Jim
and
Walden.
those spirit cookings?
Yeah, add one more.
Yeah, how about all of that
Add one more.
adrenochrome? What's up with all that adrenochrome, my
more,
guy?
pal.
You look like you got some
wanna add
adrenochrome.
one more? You want to add one more?
Hey, look at Anthony Weiner, folks. Anthony Weiner. Hey, we about to find out about those Clinton files and all that stuff.
Who are you carrying?
Who
are you afraid to say?
Let's go.
Can we get us?
All right. So people think that, you shouldn't do that.
And by the way, so here's what's crazy about that. So you notice Anthony Weiner feels empowered. He feels like he is the upper hand in that. Oh, Jim Walden, look at what you guys doing. You should fire him. And you know what's crazy about this is that Jim Walden may actually fire him for that.
What?
Yeah, Jim Walden is running for mayor of NYC. He's a Democrat, and his main platform, one of his main campaign platforms, is ending anti-Semitism. That's one of his main things. And so I would totally see it being within the realm of possibility that that man, who did a fantastic job in that clip of exposing Anthony Weiner, Democrat, by the way, it's not even a Republican that we're watching there, which is, respect him for being willing to do that. It takes courage. He may get fired for that. Literally. That's...
He can come work for me.
Absolutely.
I'll hire him. I don't care, Democrat or Republican. I don't care. You can see what's wrong. You people behind him that were yelling at Weiner as well.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I tell people all the time, I'm from the south side of heaven. I'm just on the edge. I've lived my life in a pretty, I'm not a Boy Scout, but I've been a Boy Scout for pretty much the last 18 years. Since the day that I gave my life to Jesus, but I've never seen a fight I didn't like. And I've never seen a pedophile that I did like.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that that there's not redemptive powers, but the redemption is in when you get to meet your maker. The redemption is not that, oh my gosh, I just spent a couple years in jail and I get to walk away. Right? I get to just act like nothing happened and go do what I did before and take advantage of people. Right? That's not where it is. And you don't get to hide behind being Jewish. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care what race, nationality. I don't care about any of it. I care that you hurt a child.
Right.
You don't deserve. You're a sex offender. You deserve to pound rocks for the rest of your life. And you can say, Joe, that doesn't show forgiveness. I did forgive him. He has the ability to live. I don't want him near children. I actually don't want him to have a cell phone. Frankly, I don't want him to have to be the opportunity to do something behind some hidden deal, again, to a child.
Yeah.
And then act like that I was a great politician. How can you be a great politician when you're trying to sleep with children.
3 times he got caught as a politician. 3 times and he didn't stop.
I cannot do it. They're normalizing it, and we should not be normalizing any of it. And so, no, I don't. I have no. You don't get a free pass.
Not at all. And The View, by the way, do you think they would have had him on if he was a Christian? Even if he was a Democrat?
No.
No.
They would have ridiculed him.
Yeah, they're tasked with trying to protect him in the name of protecting the group as a whole of formerly Jewish atheists. That's what it is. And everyone can see it. And that's why people are getting pissed off. That's why the internet is the way it is now, because we're tired of this double standard that Anthony Weiner can enter politics again and possibly he'll win. That's a real thing that can happen. You heard the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And yet everyone else is on a different standard. And then Trump can literally have fake stories made about him that they're trying to exclude him from politics for. And then we have a real, actual convicted felon who's interning. It boggles the mind, and it makes you really open your eyes to the truth.
Yeah. It's completely 2 different stories to do whatever it is. The money is obviously behind Weiner right now. He's on The View. So he's got the backing. He's got the support from people that like, what?
They want evil people, Rob.
Clearly his choices are going to be what they want. You know, that's what they want. Or they wouldn't.
They want evil people that are compromised, that can be compromised, can be controlled.
Yep.
That they could kick out at any moment and come up with another, because he has more skeletons in the closet.
And probably has a lot of skeleton info on other people in their closets.
That's important.
Important.
The stuff he has on people and the stuff that his friends have on people is why he feels so protected.
To get 3 times?
Yeah, he does it with them. They're all in on it. He's one of the club. So he knows, I can do it. I can enter politics. There's not going to be consequences against me. I'm friends with the owner of NBC. Yeah. I'm friends with, and the owner of NBC, I went to an Epstein party. I'm friends with the other politicians in New York who we all work together to create pedophile rings that we were all part of, and that hasn't even come out fully yet. We know about the sexting. What about all the other stuff he was involved with? That never is going to come out because the prosecutors in New York protect him for it. Because they know they have a lot of the evidence, but they're in a lot of the evidence. A lot of the evidence is on them. So how are we going to hold people accountable when the people that are supposed to be holding them accountable need to be held accountable themselves, and then there's no one left?
Yeah. How do you go to jail for sexting somebody 3 times, right? The one time you go to jail, but the laptop that was discovered, where supposedly the police officers unalived themselves, what was on those?
It's okay. It's
not a text.
Yeah, we're not on TikTok, fortunately. So we can say killed themselves.
You can say killed themselves. Okay,
yeah.
I've been trained not to say that kind of like my friends.
Yeah, I know it's the gay TikTok thing where you have to say unalived.
It took me a while to figure that out.
Or graped. Did you get graped?
Is that like a thing? Graped?
Yeah, Anthony Weiner graped underage girls. That's you have to, if you talk about it on TikTok, you have to say that.
You do.
But if you want to post a transgender kid getting surgery on TikTok, that's totally fine.
Yeah, of course.
They get away with what we let them get away with it. Like I give nobody any space. I don't give them any space. I'm respectful to people, but somebody comes at me, like I was. Normally when I go to the airport, people are really nice to me. They're like, "Hey Joe, how you doing?" You know, people will say, walking through Denver, I don't think I've ever had less than 3 or 4 people that are like, "Hey Joe, what's up? What's up? How you doing?" But I had one that was the opposite. And he called me, he's on the thing, you know, the walkways that you walk on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he looks at me and he starts screaming obscenities at me, giving me the fingers and saying, "Oh man, effing insurrectionist." What do you think I did?
Knocked him out?
No, man. I jumped over. I was on one side. And this is why I tell people, look, I'm the nicest guy in the world. But I'm going to teach somebody a lesson. And I will cop to a charge. I'm going to tell you right now. You come at me, you come at my family, and if I'm in that place where you just want to act like, because you're going this way and I'm going this way, right? He's going this way, I'm going this way. He's yelling obscenities at me, calling me an insurrectionist, and F you, F Trump, right? So I jumped jumped right over into his side, started walking towards him.
Wow.
Right? I go, talk to me. Say it again. Say it one more time. I'm right here now. Say it. And he did this.
Yeah.
I said, I will beat you with your own arms.
Why hit yourself? Why hit yourself? You remember that?
And people say, Joe, that why'd you do it? Why did he feel like he could do that to me?
Yeah.
Right? Why do you feel like you can take what's not yours? And so the devil feels like it has realm because we have given it space. We've given people like Wiener the ability to feel like I can just get right back into public office. I did my prison deal, hung out with a bunch of other pedophiles and tried to help them. And now all of a sudden you get a free ride. By the way, the guy that cowered like a thing, the people around him were laughing at him. And I was like, you're nothing but cowards. And I put my finger right down in his face. You're nothing but cowards. You're cowards and you're demons. And you have something to say now. You don't have anything to say. At some point, we've got to get to the place where we stop letting these people, we're like an elephant tied to a fence that's not even in the ground with a tiny string. And somewhere along the line, we've let them take from us what is not theirs. And that's why they try to silence me. It's because it's simple. It's simple. All pedophiles need to be unalived.
Not great.
Unalived in a court of law.
Yeah, in a court of law.
Just to
in
be,
a court of law, yes. Of course.
Yeah. They need to face the death penalty. You hurt a child. Sorry.
Yeah.
I still think life in prison is worse, especially if we can figure out a way to send them to El Salvadorian prisons. The U.S. prisons are still bad, but I think the punishment should be for people like him the rest of your life in El Salvador in prison where they have the cold, hard metal beds. I'm totally obsessed with this idea. It has to happen. We need, finally, not only will we save so much money on the prison cost per year that the government pays and huge profit margins for big prison industry, we'll save a bunch of money and then it'll be a real punishment for the people who deserve it, especially if you're a murderer, a child rapist. The worst of the worst should not get to have anything close to an American prison cell.
Yeah. I would say anything that recommends you get life or death and there's a decision that has to be made should just be El Salvador, right? I mean, like, you know, it's like, you know, he did this, and this, but here we kind of feel like maybe life in prison is more appropriate or whatever. If it's right in between that, that's just an easy El Salvador. All right. You're not dead. You're
I
not
can
dead.
promise you right now, if you did that, there'd be a whole lot less.
There'd be less.
They'd sell a lot more baby oil and little rooms. They can go do whatever they want to themselves, right? And it's not funny, but at least they're only harming themselves, right? Doing stuff to themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you want to do, right? You gotta be right with God, not me.
And for an investment, invest in whatever tequila they sell locally there because of all the people that are going to go buy margaritas to try to get the people out of jail. Right? What's the one guy for Abrego went down and had a margarita with them or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Start putting people over there. They're going to start every week.
The congressperson that went down there to say, oh, let me sit down and have some margarita.
Yeah.
Let me get you out of prison because you're MS-13 and I'm going to give you a margarita. We're going to sit here and have margaritas.
Because the photo was altered, right? Somebody wrote MS-13 to say what the symbols meant.
Yeah.
And now they're like, the photo was altered. Nobody was saying the photo was not altered. I mean, it was just, this is what it translates to. But that I saw that everywhere. Photo was altered. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's fake. And I was just like,
yeah,
really?
And you've seen, by the way, you've seen firsthand what it's like to be part of that Hollywood system of abuse. You've witnessed it with someone you love. You've witnessed it in a very evil way. What was that like? What did you experience being around Hollywood?
Oh, well, first off, there are some amazing people, right? So wouldn't like lump the whole entire thing, but I would say the upper.
It's a big glump.
Big glump. Yeah, there's good people in everything, right? There's a big, well, probably more than anywhere else that I've come in contact with. But I've been able to, you know, from a side door, you know, my brother growing up, I mean, he's been doing this since he was, you know, my mom's 2-time world champion pool player. So she started going on Dynasty and like Who's the Boss, all these shows, doing the pool stuff, you know, for the actors and whatever. And so one of the directors said, hey, we need him for a commercial. And he went on. So he's been doing this since he was 4. So all the like famous people, you know, it would be not weird for him to be hanging out with the Hansons or, you know, over with Aaron Carter was a big one that he was friends with that, you know, and then you just watch all these guys go downhill and all this stuff that's happening. And the stories are very similar. You know, you hear about it like all over the place. You're like, wow, I mean, 2 years ago, you know, it was good. And now it's so bad, you know? So, I mean, I don't know, man. You look at the Diddy stuff and you look at all these connections, Bieber being in there and then having some issues, you know, just seems all tied together to me. Like, it's pretty ugly and unfortunate.
It's just hard to picture that no one would show up for Drake and everyone shows up for his abuser, who, by the way, is still walking free.
Yeah.
And we know.
No, come on,
his
tell me
crimes.
that's not the real.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know the story.
And
So
he
you're
went
telling
back.
me he's-
Dude,
He went
it's
back to
so
work for
much worse.
Hollywood.
Yeah, not
With
in
kids.
Hollywood, not just in Hollywood. He went and did the prison thing. Went back for like maybe I don't want to short him, but months. Right, it wasn't years.
Dude, what's this dude's name?
Brian. I don't know. You can Google it. It's Brian. Oh, it's the same as Josh's name, Peck. Brian Peck. They're not related, but it was the same. As Brian's name was on the show, Drake and Josh. But no, yeah, the guy when he got out, he went to work at Nickelodeon.
No.
Not Nickelodeon, Disney.
Come
As
on
an
a
acting coach.
kids
He
show
was
with
direct-
kid actors
direct.
again. After he was
Yes.
convicted of this, they gave him a short slap on the wrist prison sentence and then let him work with children on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Young children. You've seen the Sweet Life of Zach and
Straight
Cody.
out of prison.
Straight out of prison.
That can't be
And
true.
he's also formerly Jewish atheist also. Just like Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true.
That's the only
That's him.
group of people who allows that is if you're part of that club.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is him.
And he's still
Apollo.
he's free right now, living in a mansion right now. And no consequences. Nothing happened to him. He literally took Drake as a child.
He's a midget too.
He's a tiny dude.
He's a little tiny dude.
He used his position on the show to abuse him regularly. Was caught doing it. The documentary exposes everything. And then after being caught with that, he gets a short prison sentence. Everyone supports him. Everyone shows up. And imagine being Drake. You're a kid. You're sitting in the courtroom with someone who just abused you for a significant amount of time. Drake's not gay, by the way. Being abused by a man. Scars you. It hurts you, right? It changes your life. And then you have to sit in the courtroom with just your family. You were there. And across from you are celebrities, producers, the whole side full of people. And you have to feel small. You're already a child. You already are small anyway. And looking at that up against you. How does that make you feel? What message does that send to all the other people who are abused? And that's the point.
No.
It's designed that way. They're okay with that.
I'd never even heard of this.
There's no way it would have gone under radar without you not hearing about it if it wasn't by design.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're talking about the top show, period, airing. This happens and nobody heard about it, right? Nobody. I mean, it was not out until this documentary came out. Even the documentary people that did all the research didn't know
I didn't
who it
even
was.
hear about the documentary.
The documentary is gnarly.
It's big.
Yeah, it was the most watched documentary ever for Max. It was gnarly. It was hard to watch. But
They tried
love
to
my
hide
brother.
it. They weren't allowed to advertise it. They weren't allowed to. They're on a lot of platforms. They literally tried to hide. That's how corrupt and evil these people are. So that's why you didn't hear about it.
Can we get Drake on here?
I could ask him.
What do you do it?
He's my brother. He's doing a lot of stuff right
He's in
now, so I
Mexico.
wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, he lives in Mexico.
So
He probably would. I'll run it by him. I mean, Matt posted some good stuff for him that was helpful back in the day. Really quick, if you don't mind, since we're talking about the documentary, you guys mind if I give a quick apology to somebody really quick?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so I'm in high school dating this cheerleader girl. And my family's, my mom, the pool player, they had this clothing company. And so they did this ad for the front page of a billiard magazine. And they asked my girlfriend if she wanted to be in the ad. So she was in the ad. And this is like 1993, right? Her parents got kind of weirded out about, like, why are you on a cover of a pool magazine? They didn't get a signed thing. You're under 18. Whatever. Anyway, skip ahead to now I'm 50, right? This documentary comes out. And when they go to show the family, because it's all my brothers and my stepdad, and my mom wasn't there, so it's this other girl. They show that picture like 3 times during the documentary, so as if it's Drake's mom. And then they go to like CNN. Everywhere sort of posting this as Drake's mom. And so I get this ex-girlfriend from 30 years ago freaking out that like now I'm involved in this #1 documentary. So anyways, Vicky, sorry.
You saying sorry to Vicky?
Sorry to Vicky. Victoria Westrup. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I didn't give them the picture, but I guess it caused a little bit of ruckus for her. So thanks for that opportunity.
Good to know.
Yeah. Boring.
I got a couple other things I want to put up here. I know we kind of blew through this one, but President Trump is going after companies who hire illegals. Let's go ahead and play this. This is a raid, by the way. So what you're looking at if you're on the audio version is that this is a raid of a business that had a ton of illegals. It looked like a day's supply that come across the border all in one place. And this is in Florida. And you would say, all right, they're just going after regular, everyday illegals. And I would tell you that it's playing chess. One, they know that there's a bunch of people there that are actually committed crimes, so they grab them, number one. Number two, the courts have made it impossible to get rid of all the bad people, so they're just going to round up a ton of them and just send them all back.
It's good. And by the way, I'm so extreme on this. I think that the deportations should be fully sweeping. It should be 10,000 plus a day. We should devote a huge percent of our budget to it, which Trump is putting a bigger budget than before, but it's not big enough. And it doesn't matter if you committed a crime or not. Everyone here illegally has to go.
Are you ready for this?
And then they can come back. No, you have to go. And because you came illegally, now you're never allowed to come back again. And we can have other people come, but not you. You already broke the law. You're done. That's how it should be, in my opinion.
All right, so let me be the bearer of bad news for you. Right? Ready? Okay. They just raided Martha's Vineyard.
I heard. Yeah, this morning.
and in the raid, they picked up a couple of MS-13 people. This is how crazy, how close the elitists are, the cocaine snorting elitists, and MS-13 and criminals are, and child predators are. They love each other, right? That one of the residents said it could be any one of us next. Go ahead and play. This is unbelievable play.
I think it could be any of us next.
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard resident Jane Catch held a sign yesterday at the Vineyard Haven terminal warning visitors.
The island has a history of supporting people who are different, supporting immigrants. Everyone in this country is entitled to due process, whether they have paperwork or they don't.
You see what she said?
Who's going to take care of her cats?
I didn't know.
No.
Over 30 cats
you missed the other part. She said, we have a history of supporting people who are different meaning pedophiles, different meaning gang members, different meaning, I guess housekeepers.
And she lives in the whitest place on earth, by the way, which is kind of funny. Where they did send immigrants there, and what did they do? They deported them from Martha's Vineyard
Immediately.
within a few days.
Not a good idea.
They're like, oh, we're so welcoming of you. Here, welcome. Okay, now here. Okay, over. Okay, bye. It's just so hypocritical. Those old liberals, the old lady liberals, are the worst.
Well, they don't ever get to face the consequences. They're in a place where they're above it. They're above it. They don't have to live a normal life and be subject to some of the crimes that are committed.
Yeah, they've got security.
Yeah. Here's a mayor in Nashville, doxed DHS agents and members of ICE. Go ahead, play it.
It looks like Mayor O'Connell was involved in some sort of obstruction or the harboring of criminal illegal aliens in the great city of Nashville. But also just last night, his office put out the names of Homeland Security investigators and doxed our ICE enforcement officers. They claimed it was a mistake. There's zero chance it was a mistake, and there will be repercussions. Our ICE enforcement officers are already facing a 400% increase in assaults against them. And he's essentially handing over intelligence to these criminal gangs so that they can target our ICE enforcement officers. It's wrong, and it's beneath the city of Nashville, and I hope he will face consequences.
Send him to El Salvador. We got the prison open, buddy. Open the door. Make a nice little metal bed for him. And drink out of the trough over there.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready.
What do you think this guy is?
Which guy? The guy.
I'm waiting for the picture to pop up or something.
Yeah, we need a picture, Joey.
No, what do you think he is?
Well, who though?
The guy we just talked about, Freddie O'Connell.
Oh, what is he, part of the club?
He's part of the club.
The formerly Jewish Atheist Club. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It just doesn't get any worse. And look, just leave the Jewish people alone. Just get rid of all the atheists out there. Don't give them a free pass for doing evil stuff, like doxing families of people doing their legitimate job to do the right thing to protect people in the community. You know, and they're like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. No, I'm not. No. Here's what else happened, by the way. Supreme Court on Friday sided with the Trump administration, allowing them to revoke temporary issued legal status to over 500 immigrants that were given that status by the Biden administration with the auto pen. So it wasn't the Biden administration that did it. It was the auto pen that did it. 7-2 vote, the court granted an emergency application by DHS Secretary Kristi Noem that ends the Biden program, which granted 532,000 people from Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti, Nicaragua permission to temporarily live and work in the United States.
Love to see that. 7-2, by the way. That means one of the liberals voted yes on this, which is actually shocking.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Ready? Of course. The people that voted against it were the person that can't tell you what a woman is.
Oh, yeah. The black lady.
Ketanji Brown.
Yeah.
Jackson. And Sonia Sotomayor.
Oh, God. Okay. But that's still good. 7-2 is that's some great numbers, right? I mean, like, screw both of them. I won't say that word, but screw both of them. But at least it's 7-2. It makes me feel somewhat confident for the first time ever that maybe we're not totally lost.
We're lost. We're lost. I mean, just so we're clear.
Just like a burster bubble.
Just like a burster.
Just to destroy your confidence. Your little bit of hope left, Matt.
I'm going to poop on you a little bit more. Like I pooped yesterday. I pooped on you yesterday. I poop on you some more today. This is a win for the Trump administration. And frankly, they were talking about it all day yesterday. Let's go ahead and play this. This is another win because it literally is going to clear the way for other. If they can apply this largely, they can get away from the rotted judiciary. Let's go play it.
U.S. Supreme Court, the president has notched a win a moment ago. The U.S. Supreme Court has allowed the Trump administration to revoke the temporary legal status for hundreds of thousands of immigrants. Now, they come from 4 countries, Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua. They came into the country through an app that was established during the Biden presidency years. And for the moment, it appears that the Trump team they've made it their objective to deport those who came in illegally. This would be a win for the administration handed down by the U.S. Supreme Court just a few minutes ago. So that's the latest. Watching that from Washington, D.C.
Shout out to Elena Kagan, though.
Yeah.
That's the liberal who voted in the Supreme Court. Yes.
No, there's no shout.
Nobody
should know shout
voted
outs.
Yes. That's give her a little bit of respect.
Okay, hold on a second. Before
Joe, we got to be a little, just a little. Don't have to give her a lot, just a little bit. Just be like,
she might be better if she gets credit for things.
Just a little respect.
She
might get better.
She might get better.
You give a reward for a treat.
This much.
We got to reward her for. Okay, I'll just give her a good job.
Good job.
You got rid of a bunch of people who shouldn't be here. Good job. And everybody's gonna be like, we're next. It could be any one of us.
It could be the 3 of us could get deported.
Probably. That's fine.
That lady on Martha's Vineyard, do you really think she was really going to be next? I don't think anybody's deporting her anytime soon.
We'll just go surf with Rob in Mexico. It'll be fine. It'll be all good.
Deport me to there. I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Deport me to my land in Cabo.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You got to see this. So a Denver Post family is arrested outside court. Trump admin wasted no time on these deportations. This is crazy. Publicly lists sanctuary jurisdictions, including 41 of Colorado's 64 counties. Feds detain immigrant family in Denver courthouse amid new Trump strategy. Law prohibits immigration arrests at or near state courthouses, but does not apply to federal facilities. So they went into the a man, and a woman, and a small child left the courtroom in a federal facility on Stout Street after attending an immigration hearing in their case early Thursday morning. During the hearing, Judge Tyler Wood dismissed the removal case against them. said Emily Brock, Deputy Managing Attorney at the Rocky Mountain Immigrant Advocacy Network. The dismissal of the removal case historically has meant the government decided to no longer pursue deportation from the United States. But as the family left the court with a dismissal order in hand, they were detained by several plainclothes federal agents who's witnessed the confrontation. They didn't identify themselves. They just pulled out their badge and said, "You're coming with us." Brock said that the agents, a few minutes later, talked to the family about their rights. She started shouting out information in Spanish when the agents refused. The family, which has not publicly identified, was silent. Honestly, they were just in shock. The bad part is that you get this. Trump administration publicly lists sanctuary jurisdictions, including 41 of Colorado's 64 counties. And Jared Polis has long denied Colorado as a sanctuary state, despite laws that limit help with immigration enforcement. And this goes in to talk about they're putting more than 500 sanctuary jurisdictions across the country. I notice that the Trump administration views them as obstructing immigration enforcement as it attempts to increase pressure on communities it believes are standing in the way of the president's mass deportation agenda. Homeland Security designated 15 Colorado municipalities as sanctuary jurisdictions, including Denver, Aurora, Fort Collins, Durango, Vail, Longmont, and more. Now, by doing this, they open up two things. One, the ability to actually go after them, the politicians, because they're the leaders that are having these illegal acts and these illegal laws enforced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna lead to quite a bit. I think it's gonna be a party.
It's coming on.
Yeah, and it's actually on the DHS site, and this gives me a little bit of hope that we're actually going to start enforcing some of these laws against these politicians and seeing them get long prison sentences. Okay, we're kind of out of time because we got to go to the airport.
We do.
Yeah. And we couldn't leave it with you if you want to talk about Joe Biden's Memorial Day speech. That's pretty funny, actually.
That's enough. That's enough politics for me today. I'm out of here. I'm actually leaving before. I'm leaving first. I'm literally booking a ticket anywhere just to get out of here.
Just to get out of here. All right.
No, you're booking a ticket to go home, hang out with your children.
That sounds
your girls.
That
and
sounds
Diana,
nice.
shout out to your wife.
Get a little early start on the weekend sounds wonderful. I've been spinning my oldest around, and she always says, "Faster, faster, faster." it's the best thing in the world. And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Faster, faster. and then it's great. It's totally great. But and then if you go too fast, so she's like, "Don't hurt me." Okay, slow it down.
Slow down.
It's so awesome.
And faster.
And she does it with her little baby doll too now. So she will do what I do to her, spinning around with the baby doll. It's literally, having kids is the most beautiful thing, especially when they're babies. I can't think of anything better. So we'll go ahead and pray. Yeah. It's my turn to pray today.
It is your turn to pray.
And we'll go ahead and do that.
Got to pray for Rob, and we got a project I think you guys will be talking about here in the future.
I love it.
I think it's gonna be really neat.
It will be really neat.
It's coming. It's gonna be a healthy place for people.
Yeah, it's very exciting. To be determined in 3D.
to be or not to be
3D.
Three-dimensional. To be 3D.
Anyway, so with that said, I mean, one of the craziest shows we've had probably, and I think this prayer should absolutely be about that, because we're watching our world fall apart. We're watching our country fall apart. And so, dear Lord, help us to find a way to get these evil demons out of our society, the people who take advantage of children. Help to reach those who are clapping on The View, sitting in the audience, seeing someone like that in front of them who has hurt children, who has hurt your creation, the most beautiful, innocent part of it, who's taken advantage of them. Help everyone to be able to have the goggles lifted and to see what's in front of them, to see evil, because that is how we can get rid of it. That's how we can make sure our society is not full of that. And it's a test. It's hard living and seeing this and having to deal with it, knowing it's real and knowing there's not always much you can do about it. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but with your help, by being close to you, give us the strength to be able to fight this evil. Amen.
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 Rob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it very
Thanks for
much.
having me.
Absolutely.
You
It
guys are
was
awesome.
awesome. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Listen, stay prayed up. And the last thing I want to say that I think everyone's going to want to hear. I was a little shaken by this. Dave Bear. We don't know for a fact. I've told you about my friend that has cancer, had cancer over the heart. We've been praying for him regularly. There's many people that have reached out. He had cancer over the heart, had to get his chest cut open after doing chemotherapy. He was a doctor. He got neuropathy in his finger, so he couldn't have surgery anymore. And just an amazing man. So he goes in to get a biopsy again after it had doubled in size. And the doctors can't figure out what's going on because the cells that they pulled out of the biopsy out of his chest were necrotic, which is not what happens. In other words, the things we've been doing, we put him on big doses of ivermectin. He takes that. He's got the most positive attitude you'd ever meet in a person. And then
we've been praying for him.
We've been praying for him. Just imagine all the prayers. So we got to give this one to God. We got to basically say, thank you, Lord, for giving Dave time, right? And that man, prayers work.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Prayers work. And so
let's say another prayer for him before we get off. I think that's important if you wanna do that, Joe.
Yeah.
Because he's still not clear yet.
Yeah.
There's still
all right,
scary.
so let's do that. Father God, thank you for the blessings you put in our lives, even the trials and tribulations that we go through on a regular basis. Father, we're just grateful for it. We're grateful for the time and the relationships that we have, and even through the bad times, Father, the lessons that we learn in our life. Father, I just ask you to put your arms around Dave Bear and his family, and I thank you for just the miracles of life, things that are happening in his life right now. We don't really know what it means yet. The doctors don't even know what it means, but we're just grateful for, what looks like great news and what looks like something that is going to be a blessing in Dave and his families in our lives, as well as we get to be around Dave regularly. So Father, we just say thank you. And we just ask that you continue to heal Dave and to bless those others that are sick, that they may be healed as well. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Now we can head off for the weekend.
All right.
We got to go.
Let's do it.
All right. God bless you.
Later.